Hi Andy, good morning. This is again Dr. C.H. Kiran Kumar dealing you the machine learning part. Today, let us know what is called support vector machine. Yesterday, we talked about this. Right, let us complete this today. All right, C of x and S dash x, S hat x, where C of x is +1 for positive examples and -1 for negative examples, and S hat x is the score of the example x. In this case, if we take S hat x, Wx minus t, then a true positive xi has margin W dot xi minus t greater than 0, and a true negative xj has margin of minus W dot xj minus t greater than 0. So this is already we have seen yesterday. If we take a graph like this, so this is line 1, this is line 2, or plane 1, plane 2. This is what we have to find out. The formula, no, all positive examples placed are here, all positive examples and all negative examples. So if we take S hat of x is equal to Wx minus t, then a true positive xi has a margin of W into xi minus t greater than 0. This is what all these will have the value W into xi minus t as greater than 0, and all these will have, no, if it is xj, this is xj, Wxj minus t minus of this will be greater than 0 or less than 0. This will be less than 0. Or if this minus is taken that side, automatically this will become less than 0, and these are all called greater than 0. For a given training set and decision boundary, let M positive be the smallest margin of any positive. Smallest margin. The smallest margin, my dear friends, that is smallest, very small, okay? And see, decision boundary means this is called decision boundary. This is decision boundary, smallest positive. Similarly, and M negative be the smallest margin of any negative, then we want to the sum of these two as large as possible. This is the smallest one, this is the smallest one, and this is the smallest one positive, this is the smallest negative one. The sum is independent of the decision threshold T, as long as we keep the nearest positives and negatives at the right sides of the decision boundary. This is what decision boundary is. This is decision boundary. We have to keep both. No, this is positive boundary, this is negative boundary, and so we have to readjust such that M positive and M negative become equal. Decision boundary, number of, so this is how it is. This is called decision boundary. Hope you understood, right? Now, if you talk about the same scenarios here, the training examples nearest to the decision boundary are called support vectors. The training examples nearest to the boundary are called support vectors. This is one support vector. This is another one. These are all called support vectors. The decision boundary of a support vector machine is defined as a linear combination of the support vectors. A decision boundary, this the decision boundary of a supporting vector machine is defined as a linear combination of the support vectors. The margin is thus defined as M by W. M by W, my dear friends. This is M by W. Very simple. M by W. Where M is the distance between the decision boundary and the nearest training instances. M is the distance between, see, this is T minus W, T by W and T plus M by W. This is what it is. Where M is the distance between the decision boundary and the nearest training instances measured along W. Hope you understood, right? So this is called 2M by W, the gap. This is M by W, this is M by W, this is 2M by W. M by W. This is M by W. So this becomes 2 by W, 2M by W. Right. Now, finally, we can come to a conclusion that T is equal to argument minimum with respect to W and T, half W square. Half W square. Minimum of half W square. Right. So subject to yi wxi minus t greater than or equal to 1, where 1 is less than or equal to I less than or equal to n. Now coming to the next variation, what is called soft margin. If the data is not linearly separable, not possible to separate these linearly separable. These are called linearly separable, my dear friends. Suppose for example, if there is a negative here and if there is a positive here, this is called, we cannot separate these two. Linearly not separable. So, which allows some of them to be inside the margin or even at the wrong side of the decision margin. Some may see, ikkade undochu, ikkade undavachu, ikkada oka minus undochu, ikkada oka plus undochu, or ikkada undochu. So, ekkadaina undavachu. In such case, thus we change the constraints to Wx minus T greater than or equal to 1 minus sigma I, 1 minus some I, 1 minus error I, and add the sum of, this is called slack variable, slack variable under. This we will call these margin errors. Wrong side. So this is called slack variables. We introduce a term called as slack variable. See, that slack variable error I. This is just a simple thing, and whichever is outside, whichever is crossing the boundary. In this case, this is crossing the positive boundary. So we will calculate the distance. This is the error. This is error. Similarly, this is called the error. And similarly, this is called the error. And this can also be taken into consideration. So all these errors are summed up and given. See, that is what that error is called slack variable, which allows some of them to be inside the margin. Okay, inside the margin at the wrong side or of the decision boundary, and we will call these are called margin errors. Thus, we change the constraints to wxi minus t greater than or equal to 1 minus error I, and add the sum of all slack variables to the objective function to be minimized, resulting the following soft margin optimization problem. Let us see that. Now, wt error I is equal to argument minimum half w square plus c into, very important, c into c, all slack variables sum, the sum of all slack variables. What is c? What is c? It may call lambda in some cases, or it is called c. It is just a user defined parameter. This is a user defined parameter. This is a user defined parameter. Margin maximization against slack variables. See, trading off margin maximization against slack variable minimization. A high value of C means that margin error incur a high penalty, while a low value permits more margin errors in order to achieve a large margin. If we allow more margin errors, we need fewer support vectors. Hence, C controls to some extent the complexity of SVM, and hence it is often called as, referred as complexity parameter. Complexity parameter. This C is called here complexity parameter. These slack variables implement is called as hinge loss. Hinge loss. This implementation is called hinge loss. A margin Z is greater than 1 incurs no penalty. A margin Z is equal to 1 minus error less than or equal to 1 incurs a penalty of error is equal to 1 minus Z. Right. So let me conclude. Alpha I equal to 0, we say these are outside or on the margin boundary. If 0 is less than alpha I is less than C, these are the support vectors on the margin. Support vectors. Hope you understood, my dear friends. Support vectors. When we say support vectors are 0 less than alpha I less than C, they are called support vectors. Alpha I is equal to C, they are inside the margin. Inside the margin. This is alpha is 0, this is 0, this is 0. This alpha is here 0. Alpha is 0. Here also alpha is 0. And alpha is equal to C means they are inside the margin. This is alpha is equal to C. And alpha equal to 0 means outside the margin. This is outside the margin, correctly placed. Now, a minimal complexity soft margin classifier summarizes the classes by their class means in a way very similar to the basic linear classifier. For immediate values of C, the decision boundary is spanned by the support vectors and the per class mean of the margin errors. Support vector machines are linearly classifiers that construct the unique decision boundary that maximize the distance to the nearest training examples. That maximizes. The complexity parameter C can be used to adjust, it's like a knob, adjust the number and severity of the allowed margin violations. Training an SVM involves solving a large quadratic optimization problem. Anyhow, this is called SVM. Now, there are hard SVM, soft SVM. We have seen soft SVM. If the data is linearly separable, we can select two parallel hyperplanes that separate the two classes of data so that the distance between them as large as possible. The region bounded by these two hyperplane is called the margin, and the maximum margin hyperplane is the hyperplane that lies halfway between them. When data are not linearly separable, what happens? This is called soft margin, this is called hard margin. Hinge loss function adds a penalty for crossing over the margin. The penalty is proportional to the distance from the margin. Right, let us move on to what is called kernel method. What is called kernel trick or kernel method. Now first we will understand what is this method, then we go for the algorithm. Now it is to call transformed space is called feature space, and the original space is called input space. For example, if you take a single dimensional thing, if you take a small single dimensional one, then the points are like this. If this is taken, see, this is called input space, my dear friends. This is called input space. We have to transform this into somewhere, something like this. So this is called transformed space. And the formula used for this would be, now we just change dual perceptron algorithm, which is called kernel perceptron algorithm. Just change xij, dot product of xi and xj is changed as k of xi, xj, which is called kernel. See, this is what the transformation is required. See, this is single dimension, converted into two-dimension space. We'll see what is exactly this, right? For example, you take this, right? There are two blue labels here, another blue labels are here, two red labels are here. Can we separate these two? This is the question. How do we separate? How do we separate these? So if I write a line here, see, positives, two positives, and no, wrongly, these two are wrongly classified. Suppose if I have a line here, these two are wrongly classified. So how shall we have a separating line? So seemingly, no, it is very difficult to separate this. Unseparable. Now there is a formula for this here. In the formula ante, children, for example, if you take the distance, you take the distance 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Now you take distance here, you take index here and the distance here. What happens? So first one is 0 at 0, first one is at 1, second one is at second position, third one is at third position, fourth one is at fourth position, sixth one is at sixth position, seventh one is at seventh position. Something like that. If you take, then see, if you can represent a single dimensional input space into a two-dimensional space, then you can see, my dear friends, you can separate. You can separate now. This is called kernel trick. This is called kernel trick. This is mostly used with the SVM. This is called Kernel trick, my dear friends, kernel trick. Hope you understood, right? This is called kernel trick. This is called kernel trick, my dear friends. Now you can see data classification can be done linear and non-linear functions as shown in the figure. The first figure is a rare case, and most real life situations we face classification problem which is not linearly separable, This is linearly separable. But in the second case, this is non-linear, which cannot be separable linearly. So in this case, as we know that support vector machines uses hyperplanes to separate data points in the space, but with non-linear data SVM finds it difficult to generate hyperplanes. The solution for this problem is kernel trick. Now the kernel, what is the kernel trick we use here? You can see here, you take the radius, right? You take this center point, calculate the distance, my dear friends. Calculate the distance. Now, these are her higher distances. Now you take, see X and Y, and you also have to take Z, where on the Z you have to put this distance. What distance? From radius nunchi ikkada distance ganaka map cheyagalite, then we'll get the problem, right? Okay, let us see the definition. Kernel function maps the original non-linear separable data into the higher definition, higher dimension, which helps to find the suitable hyperplane which separates the data points. Very, very important, my dear friends. Maps the original non-linear separable data into the higher dimensions. 2 dimensions nunchi 3 dimensions ki, 3 dimensions nunchi 4 dimensions ki, single dimension nunchi 1 dimensions ki pampiste automatically you can see the hyperplane which separates the data points. It can also be understood as function which maps low dimensional space into higher dimensional space for making linear separable data points. This is the objective, right? You can see here. See here, this is, we are taking the distance here. If we take the distance, right, see, lowest distance, see, are separable, and highest distance are zero. See, this is 2-dimensional and this is 3-dimensional. Likewise, you can see many examples of like this. You can see this also. This is where this is also the same kind, but it is a real example. This is what it is. See, you can clearly see the separation. You can clearly see the separation. If we increase a 2-dimensional space, into 3-dimensional, we can see clearly see the separation. Now, we can definitely say a complex pattern classification problem cast in high-dimensional space non-linearly is more likely to be linearly separable than in low-dimensional space, provided the space is not densely populated. Of course, a classification problem cast in high-dimensional space. See, that is high-dimensional. If you have 2, you cast it in 3-dimensional. If you have 3, you cast it in 4-dimensional. If you have 1, you cast it in 2-dimensional space. Then you can see in the lower dimensional space, you may not see the linear separable, but in the high dimensional, you can clearly see the separation. So, right, kernel methods are best known in combination with the support vector machine. Notice that the soft margin optimization problem is defined in terms of dot products between training instance, and hence the kernel trick can be applied. Now, kernel perceptron. We just changed our dual perceptron as this is the only change. We just no in general see labeled training data in homogeneous coordinates, and we have to go with kernel functions. Coefficients x alpha I defining nonlinear decision boundary, and for alpha I equal to 0 for every positive boundary. So this is 0, this is 0. For every alpha I is 0, and converged is equal to false. Let us say converged is equal to true. Find one outlier. This is one outlier. That is, one is falsely recognized. You take that and increase its alpha I is equal to alpha I plus 1, and then converged is equal to false. Then end. See. So this is how kernel perceptron is placed. So this is called kernel perceptron. Now, finally, one thing is to keep in mind that decision boundary learned, a nonlinear kernel cannot represented by a simple weight vector in input space. So thus, in order to classify a new example X, we need to evaluate yi in j is equal to 1 alpha I j. So, which is an order of n computation involving all training examples, or at least the ones with non-zero multipliers of alpha. This is why support vector machines are a popular choice as kernel methods, since they are naturally promotes sparsity in the support. So we don't go with perceptron. Kernel perceptron is less used. We always go support vector machines, SVM with kernel. This is what it is. Hope you understood, my dear friends. Thank you.